Hey everybody, welcome to Driving Cheap with Jeff. On today's video, I'm going to explain to you how to integrate the civilian console, typically found in your Dodge Charger, into a police Charger. It's not as easy as you think, and I'm going to give you a rundown of the wiring. Alright, so you just bought one of these Dodge Charger, a 2011 through 2014 Dodge Charger police cars, and you want to put the non-police console in the car. All right, the first thing that you want to think about, right, is your antenna, because you can't start your car without this. You can't even get in it. You have to have this thing hooked up. It's an RF antenna. Now on the police package, this is just Velcroed on the tunnel, and you have the little orange and gray wire, and you have a little gray and blue wire. Now make sure that you reconnect those, because you're gonna have to cut the wires. You have this connector, which comes factory. It comes from the factory on the police package, and you have this connector that comes on the civilian version. So you need to make this work on the police car. And the you need to cut the wires out of the donor car. You need to cut as much as you can out of the donor car. Don't even worry about this one right here. This module is coming out of the VSIM. All these pins, they communicate with the police computer and the factory electronics of the car. Things like dimmer switches for the radios, so that you can dim them the same way you would your instruments and things like that. The horn bypass button, like this wire here was already cut, so I put this little 18 to 24 inch wire connector on here just to keep it insulated. But this is a brake pedal depressed input, and with that, these wires were cut and just hanging out, and I figured, well, they're there, I might as well hook them up. And they're pretty cool. You know, these are for your wigwags. These have factory alternating high beam headlights and factory alternating tail lights, and you can just put these little switches on them, and the switch itself requires a separate ground, so ground them out. I put these to constant power, right? And my plan was to install them in here, but I need to figure out the interference. I want to make this video first, and I'm going to figure out where the best place to cut the little rectangles out to push the switches through, because these cars also did not come with the air conditioning ductwork to go to the back seat like the civilian version. The air conditioning pretty much is dumped out into the wiring for the radios. That's where the air conditioning went instead. So I'm going to figure out the best location for that, see where the clearance, I need clearance for all this right here sticking out the bottom. So I'm going to figure out a good spot for these. One of these is for also my fog lights. Let's see here, yeah, the constant power to wigwags, and I have, this is to ignition power to my fog lights right here. And I have a separate switch with separate constant power for the alternating taillights. We're going to put these in a place where you can't press them. It's just something neat to have, you know. The car can do it, why not? All of these power adapters, they have independent lights, little 5 volt, I think they're like 4 or 5 volts. And these wires do, they are in the police package. So some of them you'll have to daisy chain like I did. It's probably best to solder them, but I just didn't have time. Same with your ground wires, you know, you daisy chain them. You could see where I had to use Actually, I just extended these wires is all I did. I extended them on out. So we have, I labeled everything so we could see what's going on. You could see where I put my pink with a purple stripe. My pink with a purple stripe is my ignition power to this right here, which is going to be all the way up here on the front. And your black wire is going to be your ground. Now your ground wires coming out of here are going to be black and white. Those are your black and white wires. You will need to, there are some wires that you will have to splice together. Now you will need, because I wanted everything to be able to be plug and play. Once I'm done with this, if I want to put the carpet back in here, this car originally actually had carpet, but it was just really dirty, so I put this rubber floor in. I wanted it to be able to, like you want to run all your wires under this part, right? Under the mat or under the carpet right here. Run them through there, so if you want to take anything out, you can just unplug this, which is pretty nice. I grounded everything on this post right here. Everything's gonna be grounded on this. I still have to heat these up and melt these down, these ends. Now, there are some mystery wires, but they're not mystery anymore. You're gonna get 6 of these. I use 2 of them for the fog lights, one for a ground and one for the power input. These are called police pass-through wires. They come out on the passenger side of the fender, and they're for lights and sirens and things like that. So these are just police pass-throughs, so if you want to use them for something else, they work really well. What else we have? Yeah, I use these switches right here. They seem really, oh yeah, everything is fused. So on this car, even the reason why the colors don't match, even for the civilian version to the police version, is because everything was specifically for police equipment. Even your ignition power, like your ignition wires, your wire colors are going to be for your, I put these together, so your constant power wires always have voltage going through these. They're fused in the trunk. They say police. You have red with a white stripe. You have white with this white with a red stripe, and you have purple with like a red, yeah, with a red stripe. I guess you call it red. And over here, you have, where is it? I bundled up the other wires too. Yeah, we have your ignition on wires. These are all your ignition on wires. You have your solid pink, right? And you have your white with a pink stripe, and you have your purple with a pink or lavender stripe. I think that's lavender. And all of these I bunched together just for the video. See what else we have. This is the other half of the ground. I labeled this of the pass-through wire because I cut the pass-through wire. That's the other half of the ground. That's no big deal. Labeling is always the best. You'll know where everything goes. You have your that's pretty much it. Your black and white are your grounds. You know, like you're gonna have these paired wires that are wrapped together. I was able to find most of these are matching. Most of these will match up. The only thing is, in some places you'll just have to daisy chain them if you want everything to light up. Just really keep that in mind. You'll probably have to go back and cut and resplice wires, and that's the beauty of these. If you mess up or you found another wire you need to tie in, you can just go and cut it. You're not wasting too much time. So I will show you the finished product once I have everything all together here, and it's going to be nice and neat. Everything in this console works. I got everything working. Yeah, it all works here. Just know that you have your this right here. You're not going to do anything with this. This is just, you could tuck this off to the side, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a place to put this. behind the panels of this. If it doesn't fit in here, it just basically it's making it fit. On a separate video, I'm going to show you how I do it, and we'll have all this tidied up. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe and give a thumbs up.